The U.S. State Department's Inspector General has denounced the department for its recent arms exports to Saudi Arabia. In a report, the watchdog said the sales did not include adequate measures to limit the number of civilian casualties in Saudi Arabia's war on Yemen. The report found that the department did not fully assess risks and implement mitigation measures to reduce civilian casualties and legal concerns associated with the transfer. The transfer of arms in question are precision-guided bombs to Saudi Arabia as well as the United Arab Emirates. The Trump administration used emergency powers, citing a threat from Iran, to make the controversial sale. However, the report said the Inspector General did not examine whether an actual emergency related to Tehran existed. The Arms and Security Program at the Center for International Policy says the watchdog has dodged its responsibility by not ruling on the legality of the emergency declaration. It added that if the State Department's Office of Inspector General is to be believed when it comes to arms sales, the president can ultimately do what he wants when he wants to.
When it comes to arms sales, the president can ultimately do whatever he wants. This violates the current law, which stated a clear abuse of the executive authority the president holds. So the Congress is ignoring all of that responsibility, which he supposed the Congress supposed to monitor the Trump administration in its approval of such arms deals.
In May 2019, the Trump administration bypassed Congress to sell the weapons worth $8.1 billion. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo pushed ahead with the arms exports by declaring a national security emergency. This is the remains of a school bus after it was struck by a Saudi warplane. The children were being taken on a school trip. The missile killed 40 boys aged between 6 to 11. 11 teachers also died. 79 innocent bystanders were also wounded in the air raid, including 56 children. It's just one of many examples where Saudi Arabia has bombed civilian gatherings, including weddings, funerals, and hospitals. Senator Bob Menendez of New Jersey says the truth is there was no national security emergency, unless your coddling of the Saudi Crown Prince counts as one.
Today the kingdom, that's the Saudi kingdom, is the leading global arm importer. So the Saudi kingdom and the United Arab Emirates together buys third of the total U.S. arms exports. That's third of the United States of America's export of arms.
The controversial flow of arms by the West, especially the U.S., to the Saudis has alarmed rights groups. There have been calls for an international probe into Washington's arms exports to Riyadh instead of an internal American investigation.
It is time for an international probe into America's arms exports and the British arms export as well, to that effect, to Saudis, since it's very clear to any analyst, anybody who's following the situation in there, that the United States of America's Department Office of the United States Foreign Affairs Department Office of Inspector General, that's the OIG, has dodged its responsibility by not ruling on the legality of Pompeo's emergency declaration.
In May this year, President Trump abruptly fired the State Department's Inspector General Steve Linick amid his office's investigation into Washington's arms sale to Riyadh. Linick later said that senior members of Pompeo's team attempted to, quote, bully him into dropping the investigation.
We want to protect civilian lives in Yemen. We want to protect civilian lives